the biggest challenge right now is being more creative and use our imagination. This is what people should really work on.
Our past experiences, you utilize it in the future because that is how you need to vision the future.
It's okay to be afraid in the sense that we should mitigate, the downside of any technology. But I think humanity is so much wiser than we think.
Israel is known for innovation, of course, around the world. What's the secret behind this culture?
I think this is the time of women. I think women should take the opportunity right now because I think women and technology can change the world.
Can emotional intelligence truly complement AI, or will it one day replace it? Hi everyone, I'm Mohsinaa Ahmad. Welcome to Boss Talks, where transformative conversations meet actionable insights. In each episode, we have conversations on the intersection of modern leadership, exploring how spirituality shapes decision-making, how sustainability drives innovation, how technology transforms business, and how emotional intelligence powers lasting success. Today, we are joined by Yahli Admati, a strategic futurist with over 30 years of experience transforming businesses across multiple industries, including health, finance, education, transportation, space, construction, and agriculture. Yahli specializes in accelerating businesses to hyper growth in new markets through innovative marketing strategies and future-focused planning. Currently leading her own consultancy, Building the Future, she helps organizations prepare for tomorrow's challenges by working backward from future scenarios to create actionable strategies. As a renowned keynote speaker on tech, innovation, and health, Yahli brings the unique Israeli way perspective to future building. Her impressive background includes establishing a profitable innovation unit at Matrix, serving major clients like Maccabi and Discount Bank, and devoting time as a social activist with brothers and sisters in arms. With expertise in strategic thinking, problem solving, and business knowledge, Yahli offers invaluable insights on navigating our rapidly evolving world. Hi Yahli, welcome to my show, Boss Talks. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you doing? It's so nice to be here. Okay, first of all, I want to thank you. I think it's an honor for me to be here. So thank you for thinking about me and inviting me. This is before anything else. It's a real pleasure and a real honor.
So Yahli, you have had an impressive career in terms of shaping strategies for some of the world's renowned brands. What's been your most exciting project so far?
I think the most interesting one was something that I've been doing in the last year. I've been working with the medical institute. What is usually happening in medical institute, they're becoming very conservative. And they're right in the sense that they're following the path of not do harm before anything else. And this is a very important point because you're dealing with people, with their health and so forth. But then there is a risk that you will not progress properly. Right. So I was working with a CEO which called me and said, I want to transform my organization. And I'll explain what she meant. Usually what now organizations are doing, they're doing two things. First of all, they're bringing someone to deal with innovation. So what is happening because of what we call the immune system of organization? Usually people are saying, okay, so this is the guy who is in charge of in innovation, and we can continue what we're doing right as we used to. So, they're putting in all the responsibility and you go and do whatever you want. So this is the first thing which is very, very hard for them. And the other thing, which I think in general, is that I think people don't understand how quickly the world is changing. Rapid, we need to accelerate our adjustments. So taking into consider these two things, I believe, and the other thing usually now people are doing, that they think an AI expert and say, you're going to be in charge of AI. What you're saying is that you're really outsourcing what should be the work of the whole company, not of one person or a very small division. So what we did, when you look at any kind of organization, usually we have three different groups. One is them are the survivor of chaos or innovation or change or whatever. So the other one is the pilot of chaos or disruption and so forth. And these are the people who can mitigate, but they're not into it. I mean, they know how to deal and how to adapt, but they're not the leaders. In each company, there are only few. Usually it's up to 10 people, any large organization. And this organization I'm talking about is like nearly 4,000 people working in it. So it's a large one.
Yeah. Yes.
You will find only about 10 people, which what we call are architects of chaos. What does it mean, architects of chaos? Meaning, if I have to do it in a nutshell, after everything that you've been doing for checking them, you sit in front of them, you look them deep in the eyes, and you're saying, whatever you know about the world is irrelevant. And only the people which are having a huge smile, yours right now, who are happy to say, oh, wow, that's interesting. Wow, I want to learn more about it. They're enthusiastic about changing their thoughts, or they're even very curious. These are the people, because they are not afraid to recreate everything, to question any kind of basic assumptions that usually is leading them. So usually no organization is capable of dealing with more than a small group, because these are the people who are never happy. They always ask the hard question. They're always saying, we need to do something different. So we took this group, and what is interesting, we're not taking them from one division, but you're taking from all of them. So it can be only from logistics, from finance, things that you usually are saying, well, they don't have to deal with innovation. Wrong. Because what is happening in the future that is changing so quickly, we have to have innovation everywhere in the organization. We took these people. We had like 8 people, half men, half women, from different ranks in the organization. It is never the management. You always take middle management, and we work with them for like 9 months. And they were out of their office for 2 days a week in the beginning. Then it went to one day, but then they have a lot of homework at home. So what we did with them, we taught them what is technology, what is future research. And then they have to choose which trends are relevant to the medical field in general, and then to their own world. Then they have to build scenarios which are positive and negative, what's going to happen in their field. Then they have to do a very interesting, what we call persona creation, okay, which is like an intellectual and emotional exercise that you have to think who are going to be your clients in 5, 10, and 20 years.
Right.
And then when you have it, you have all these layers. What may be the possible futures? What may be the possible clients? Then you have to think what services you have to create for them. And then out of them, you choose. It should be at least 1 or 2 projects. And then what we call, we color it. So no one doesn't care who is the CEO, what are the sources of money. These are things, these are projects that must go on under any circumstances. Then you create really the future core of your company. So what they got out of it after 8 months, first of all, they had now 7 projects they're working on. The CEO now has a group of people, like a thinking tank. You can call them, please, I have a problem, come. And now she has someone who is running innovation on a regular basis, because they're implanting the thinking methods in everything that they do. So they're moving all the organization forward. So I think this is the most important thing, because I can talk about other things, but I think taking an organization and moving all the organization forward, this is the best achievement.
And because you tapped in minds, and you reset the whole process of the thought process, and you let them lead the way. It's like, go ahead and lead the way and keep on, charging it. So amazing. Yahli, I want to ask you, as a strategic futurist, okay, what are some of the most unexpected trends you are seeing in the emerging, say, in the next 5, 10 years?
I think what people are missing right now, they are looking at each technology by itself, like a silo. So you have AI, you have 3D printing, you have quantum physics, you have CRISPR, whatever it is. You have 15 different disruptive technologies which are coming to an end, to an age in this decade. So I think people should change their mindset and think about what kind of very interesting combination can we use. So I would say, write down all your problems and then look at this board of 15 disruptive technologies and think what kind of combination you should create in order to solve this problem. So I think moving from thinking about AI by itself, but AI with 3D printing and with energy sources. And this is what people are missing, because this is going to be the biggest trend, because in the end, we will not have 15 disruptive technologies. We will call all of it technology. And by the end of the day, we won't even call it technology, because right now you don't call electricity a technology. Even think right now, but everything we are doing now is based on electricity. So once technology is getting so powerful, it's becoming a part of the background. And then think about all these 15 technologies being merged to one technology, which is going to be a part of the background. And this is going to enable us to create new technologies that we never even dreamed on.
Right.
So I think the biggest challenge right now is being more creative and use our imagination. This is what people should really work on. Not about the technology, but being optimistic, looking forward, and being totally out of the box or whatever in their thinking.
That's really true. So you're talking about technology, you're talking about science. What does Yahli do to center herself? How do you connect with yourself? The technology is one part of it. The science is one part of it. But for your peace of mind, what do you do?
I do meditation every morning.
Okay. Do you do visualization, manifestation, and all that?
No, I do something else. I think for me is always to remind me why I'm on this earth. I believe that Buddhism has very interesting principles. So there is a prayer the Dalai Lama is saying every day when he gets up in the morning.
Right.
So I recited that. It's a very short one. It just say, that I want to always be the guide for someone who needs to go the very difficult path, that I want to be a boat or a raft to assist the one who needs to cross the flood, that I want to be a vast of miracles. So just to remind myself that I'm a part of a very long chain of wonderful that created this. For them, it was the future. For us, it's the present. So we have to carry, because all of us, we are sitting on the shoulders of giant. So we have to remember, and we should be humble and do our best to serve humanity. So this is what I do in the morning.
Absolutely, because we are the medium. We are actually the medium, and we are temporary here. So we should help each other in any which way that we can. So amazing. Yahli, please tell me, with the rise of the AI and automation, how do you think companies can ensure that emotional intelligence remain a core value in terms of leadership, even as technology evolves further?
We are right now in the biggest technological revolution. There is no question about that. But, we have 240 years of revolutions. So this question always, what do you do when you have suddenly the railways? How do you keep, your emotional connection when you're suddenly speaking on the phone? Think about it, like, how was it like 100, 120 years? So how can I be, still intimate and honest and open with you when I don't see you, but I speak with you on the phone? Or how do you do it when we're doing this, which for us, it's the reality. It's not technology anymore. So I think you always have to go back to the basic and remember, technology is only a tool to enable us to do two things. First of all, to become a better person. Okay, this is the first thing, and then to have a better life. So once you remember that, so it has to do not with technology, but with your core values, because any technology can be used for good and for bad. Right. It's our decision. I think it was Einstein who said that he's more concerned about the risk of any kind of technology than of the stupidity of humankind. So I think we should use technology to make us better. And just to give you an example, right now, the people who are creating the autonomous cars, because they have to deal suddenly with philosophical and ethical questions. So they are bringing philosophers and poets into the teams to think about the future in a much broader look. Yeah, and then just, the technology path. What is the right thing, technology? What implication it's going to have? So I think one of two things that you can always do is, first of all, think about the first and second consequences of anything you do. And then the other thing, think about what are the unintended consequences that might appear. So think about the car. I mean, people don't understand, but the car has a huge implication. For example, before that, women couldn't work because it wasn't safe for them to be on a public train or whatever. Since we have the car, more women are going to work. I mean, they're capable of working and still feeling safe. Or in the United States, the whole process of creating the suburb is definitely linked to the creation of the car. So, so sit in a small group with your architects of cars or very intelligent people who are very open-minded and think, okay, any kind of technology, what are going to be the first, second, and third impact that you can see, and what might be or can be the unintended consequences.
That's a thought that needs to be dwelled in every time you do anything in life, I feel. Very
wonderful.
True. I love the fact, what you are saying exactly is that our past experiences, the learnings that we have, you utilize it in the future because that is how you need to vision the future. and you see that, what has happened, what wrongs have happened in the past because of not giving importance to the unintended consequences. Yes.
Just to give you another example, which is, tearing my heart apart, is that, we used, unfortunately, as a human race, doesn't matter, the atomic energy to create a bomb. But if you're looking, so what happened? So we took this kind of energy, the atomic energy, and we placed it, in the bucket of the bad things, that we shouldn't ever use. So you have lost. But if you look about the climate crisis that we have right now, would have never had it if we would have this kind of energy.
Yes.
So I think when people used it to end World War II, they didn't even think about the harm that they are doing to the technology that they invested their life in creating.
Yes.
Because
the devastation.
Yes. we're suffering ground from floods, from heat, from fire. We wouldn't have used it if we could have used this energy, which is so much safer, so much cheap, and we can, it can be abandoned in many ways because the creation can be very, very cheap as well. So this is also an unintended, unfortunately, not positive consequences of the creation of because it was short-sighted and they didn't sound that. I mean, they had, which I'm not talking, of course, they had to find a way to end the war, but if they would have found another way and we wouldn't have this, put a stigma on this kind of energy, the whole world would have been in a totally different place this day.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Yahli, I want to ask you here, creating a future backwards strategy is what you believe in. How do you balance thought leadership in terms of these emerging technologies and helping organizations stay ahead of its course?
Okay, I think we should be extremely respectful of what we call the immune system of a company. Whenever you put something new on the table, which is going to transform the family, it doesn't matter, the company, what is happening is that all this immune system is being activated. And usually the representative of this immune system usually are the best people in the company. They want to keep it alive. So when the CEO gets in the room and says, we're going to, to do a huge change and we're going to bring AI everywhere and it's going to be beautiful and we're going to save money and we're going to expand and we're going to grow. No one is going to say when you have this board meeting, oh, no, I'm against it. But this is the minute that it's getting very, all the system is getting very, so this is why 89% of the AI projects are falling. They're not getting through. And you have very different, I would say, expression of the resistance of the immune system. So I think two things. First of all, be very cautious, be very respectful of this. So I would start always in a small experiment in the edges of the company. And I wouldn't give it a lot of money because once you give a lot of money to a project, all eyes are on this. No, you take a small group, you work edges, you do an experiment. You don't call it in big names. You don't use big words like AI, transformation, change, disruption. No, we have this idea of how can we, do something better. That's it. Very, download the expectation. Once people see that this thing doesn't matter and they understand, then there is no fear of anything because they don't see the tool, they see the outcome. It says, I like it. I like it that my people can work 2 hours less on the stupid things and now they can, invest their time in a better or more important subject or whatever. This is how you do it. You start with small changes, very small changes, very small
baby steps. Yes. Yeah. Great. So Israel is known for innovation, of course, around the world. What's the secret behind this culture and how does it influence your work in building the future?
Well, unfortunately, Israel is always on a cycle of change. I mean, it's a new country, but with many, many challenges and no peace of mind. So you always have to find solutions. For example, we didn't have water, so we had to find solution for water. The climate is here not so easy, so we had to, develop different kind of rice or any kind of grains that we can use. So we had suddenly we have 1 million people coming in 4 months from Russia. So we have to find a way to give them a proper housing. So I think the fact that we are always dealing with big challenges. So this is, I think, one point. The other is that there is no respect for hierarchy of any kind in Israel. If someone is telling to you, it doesn't matter whether he's a professor, he's a dean of the university, he's the head of the army, all of us usually are willing to, fortunately, question mark. Really? I think that this respect
Yeah.
works and I think people don't believe here that things are impossible. I think for us, I mean, for the leading people at least, well, impossible is only one option of looking at reality, but there is always another. So we're not good in taking no for an answer.
You have explained this so beautifully, and this kind of a mindset, why the mindset is of innovation, why the mindset is of looking forward. You've explained this socio-culturally so beautifully. You know, it's amazing, actually.
I just want people to be optimistic about the future. I think we should always remember when change is coming, first thing that is happening is the amygdala is overstressed.
Yes.
So what's happening, we can't see, we put on layers and layers, and suddenly you have, you're incapable because there's huge walls, so you can't see beyond that. Just think about, autonomous cars. So everybody is saying, what do you mean? And a robot is going to kill me? So, but they forget that we are all very bad drivers, and we kill every year 1.3 million people worldwide. It's okay to be afraid in the sense that we should mitigate, the downside of any technology. But I think humanity is so much wiser than we think. We have history. There is always a progression, and we always do. It's baby step, as you said, and we go 2 steps ahead and 1 back. About 200 years, someone would have told you, listen, there is someone who right now has pain in his chest, and there is someone else who is, unfortunately losing his life, and we can take the heart and transplant it. People, would think you're crazy. So use always, when you're getting afraid of something, go back and look at the history. Okay. And I think this is it. And challenge your thinking and challenge your fear. It's okay to be afraid. It's human, but don't let your fear lead you.
Amazing, actually. And a beautiful message to each and every one of us, what you just said. Can emotional intelligence truly complement AI, or will it one day replace it?
I think we don't know yet, because this technology is progressing very, very quickly. I think it's a new tool, and we are going to learn how to work with it. But I think it's just another tool. So I think for me, it will be an enhancement. I'll tell you what I mean. Let's assume I'm sitting with someone. I used to work for a while in Africa, and I wasn't aware of some things, and I wasn't sensitive enough to understand few things. But if I have an AI which is sitting there to me, and it says to me, listen, Yahli, you're speaking now with a lady from the Zulu, and you keep telling her that to tuck in her shirt when you go into the meeting, but for them it means that it's a sexual sign. She shouldn't do it.
Okay.
And she was too afraid of telling me because I was the boss or whatever. So I was a much higher ranks. And after 3 years, when I left, she told me that 3 years I insulted her on a regular basis. I wouldn't have known, and no one have told me. I'm just saying it. So I think it's a different thing. We are going to use it. I will ask my AI, tell me what I don't see, what I'm doing wrong. Assist me to be a better person.
It's how you use it and what is the intention behind.
Exactly. Oh, you're so right. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Amazing. Yahli, this has been so amazing, insightful, and a lot of nuances that you have taken care of, not just of technological advancements, but also socio-cultural thought process. This has been so amazing.
I think this is the time of women. I think women should take the opportunity right now, because I think if women can go beyond the traditional upbringing that usually leads us to less be involved with technology, I think women and technology can change the world. And I think it's about time. I think if women would run the world, there won't be any wars, and no child will die, because every woman who knows what it is mean to bear a child 3 months would never like any woman to have to lose any child. So I think if women with technology are going to start being more involved and become more comfortable with having power to have an impact on the world, we will have a better world.
Amazing words again. Yahli, thank you